Welcome to another class of botany. In the previous class, we have discussed the history of classification. Who gave, that is how, that is who gave, what are the scientists, who are the scientists who gave us the classification. It was Aristotle first, the scientist who first gave us the classification is Aristotle. He classified the living organisms into two kingdoms, that is plants and animals. Then it was given by Linnaeus. Linnaeus also gave two kingdom classification. Then the next scientist, that is Ernest Haeckel, he gave us three kingdom classification. So plants, along with plants and animals, he included another kingdom, that is Protista. Another kingdom, Protista. Then came Copeland, he gave four kingdom classification. Along with Protista, one more kingdom, that is along with Plantae, Animalia, Protista, one more kingdom was added, and that is Monera. And the next, Whitaker, he gave five kingdom classification, that is he included along this Protista, Monera, Plantae, Animalia, along with this fauna, he included one more kingdom, and that was fungi, kingdom fungi. So Whitaker's classification consists of five kingdoms. And another scientist, Woese, he also gave a six kingdom classification, where Monera were further divided into Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. But the system of classification which we follow now is Whitaker's five kingdom classification. Whitaker's five kingdom classification. Whitaker classified the living organisms into five kingdoms. The first is Monera, Protista, fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Five kingdom classification given by Whitaker, which we follow now. Here this Whitaker has taken into consideration while classifying the living organisms into five kingdoms. Whitaker has taken into consideration few characteristics, almost not just few, almost all the characteristics of the living organisms, and based on the characteristics which are present in them, Whitaker classified the living organisms into five kingdoms. So what are the characteristics which he took into consideration? That is cell type, what type of cell it is, whether it is prokaryotic or eukaryotic, whether it is unicellular or multicellular, whether it has nucleus or not, whether the organism shows organization, which level organization it shows, it shows only cellular level organization, or tissues are also present in those organisms, or organs are present in those organisms, what type of organization it shows, and cell wall, whether cell wall is present, even if cell wall is present, what type of, that is what is cell wall made up of, and mode of nutrition, how they procure their nutrients, how the living organisms procure their nourishment, how they eat food, depending on their feeding habits, also. And apart from this, reproduction was also one of the characteristic which was considered while classifying the living organisms. So these are the various characteristics which were taken into consideration by Whitaker while classifying the living organisms. So when we club all these characteristics, we get three categories. We will study singly how according to these characters the organisms are classified. One along singly we will be seeing, but when we club it, we can club all these characters into three categories. We can club all these characters into three categories. The first category is complexity of the cell. Complexity of the cell, whether the cell is, that is we say prokaryotic cell is the simplest cell and eukaryotic cell is the complex cell. So depending upon the complexity of the cell, whether the organism has prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell. Okay, now all the organisms with prokaryotic cell has been included under Monera. All unicellular, all unicellular prokaryotic organisms. That is, organisms which are unicellular and which contains prokaryotic cell. All of them were together grouped under one kingdom, that is Monera. So, in Monera, what type of organisms we found? We find all the organisms will have prokaryotic cell. All organisms are unicellular and they have prokaryotic cell. Okay. Next one, if the cell is eukaryotic cell, okay, if the cell is eukaryotic and it is unicellular, if the cell is that is, if the organism is unicellular and if it has eukaryotic cell, then unicellular and eukaryotic cell, those organisms are placed under the group Protista. Based on the complexity of organization, we have unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular, very simple, there is no need of organization, but in multicellular, organization is there. Organization can be at any level. It can be of tissue level, it can be of organ level, it can be of organ system level. So, it depends, but all of them, whether if it is unicellular and if it is eukaryotic cell, single cell which does not show any organization, then such organisms are included under the kingdom Protista. So, what type of organisms we found in this kingdom Protista? All unicellular organisms and eukaryotic. All unicellular organisms which consist of eukaryotic cell are placed under Protista. Unicellular prokaryotic, Monera. Unicellular eukaryotic, we place it in Protista. Then all the other now all the unicellular organisms are given into, that is divided into groups. Now come the multicellular organization. Now depending on the modes of nutrition, these multicellular organisms are further classified under 3 categories. Multicellular eukaryotic organisms, unicellular eukaryotic, Protista. Multicellular eukaryotic is again divided into 3 divisions. First is Plantae, second is Animalia and the third is Fungi. 3 categories. Multicellular organisms are divided into 3 categories and all multicellular organisms are eukaryotic. If the organism is multicellular, then the cell is definitely eukaryotic cell, that is, it consists of all the membrane bound organelles. The eukaryotic cell consists of all the membrane bound organelles. Proper definite nucleus will be present. That nucleus will be covered by nuclear membrane and all membrane bound organelles like mitochondria, ribosome, lysosomes, many other organelles are also present. So, these multicellular eukaryotic organisms are further classified into 3 categories based on the mode of nutrition, based on how they procure the food. So, 3 categories are, first is Plantae, Animalia and Fungi. So, in Plantae all autotrophs are placed, that is, all organisms which can prepare their own food are placed under the kingdom Plantae. All multicellular, eukaryotic and autotrophic which can prepare their own food are placed under the kingdom Plantae. And all multicellular eukaryotic organisms which are heterotrophic, that is, they cannot prepare their own food, they depend on other organisms. So, such organisms are placed under the group Animalia. And all multicellular eukaryotic organisms which take their nourishment from the dead and decayed matter, dead and decayed organic matter, then such type of organisms are included under fungi, all included under fungi. So, basically depending on this club characteristics, Whittaker classified the organisms into 5 categories, that is kingdom Monera, which consists of all unicellular prokaryotic cell, then kingdom Protista, which consists of all unicellular eukaryotic. Here unicellular prokaryotic, here unicellular eukaryotic, all eukaryotic. Then in the third, here multicellular eukaryotic autotrophic, all under the plants, multicellular eukaryotic and heterotrophic nutrition, then it is under Animalia. Such organisms are included under Animalia, and all multicellular eukaryotic and saprophytic, that is organisms which depends on dead and decayed matter, such organisms are included under the kingdom fungi. So, how many kingdoms? 5 kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Plantae, Animalia and fungi. So, this was the classification given by Whittaker. Now, let us see singly how this by taking this one characteristic will differentiate all this in the tabular form, how the characteristics are present in different groups in the tabular form. So, first we will see the cell, what type of cell it is, whether it is unicellular or multicellular. So, according to the cell, in Monera all organisms are unicellular, in Protista all organisms are unicellular, but here prokaryotic and here eukaryotic, then here eukaryotic cell, eukaryotic, all single cell prokaryotic organisms under Monera or single cell eukaryotic organisms in Protista, all multicellular eukaryotic in fungi, all multicellular eukaryotic, that is even fungi consist of multicellular organisms except yeast. Yeast is a fungi which is unicellular. Yeast is a fungi which is unicellular. Except this yeast, all fungal organisms are multicellular. Okay, and all organisms which comes under the group Plantae are multicellular and eukaryotic. In Animalia also, all organisms which comes under kingdom Animalia, they are multicellular and eukaryotic. Now, presence of nucleus. If it is prokaryotic, the nucleus will be present, well defined nucleus will not be present. Genetic material will be present, but it will be scattered somewhere in the cell. Proper defined nucleus will not be present. No nucleus, no proper nuclear envelope will be present. So, here in Monera, in kingdom Monera, nucleus is absent. In kingdom Protista, we find well defined nucleus because we have eukaryotes. In prokaryotes, there is no well defined nucleus and organelles, whereas in eukaryotic cell, we have a well defined nucleus as well as all the organelles. So, nucleus is present. In fungi also, as it is eukaryotic cell, nucleus will be present. In Plantae also, nucleus will be present, and in Animalia also nucleus will be present because this Protista, Plantae, fungi, Animalia all have eukaryotic cell. That means they will be having nucleus, whereas Monera lack nucleus. There is nucleus is absent. Now, coming to organelles, that is other structures apart from this nucleus, other structures which are present inside the cell. Monera, it is prokaryotic cell, then that means no membrane bound organelles will be present. There are no organelles. So, organelles are absent. Then in Protista, as the cell is eukaryotic, we find the membrane bound organelles. So membrane bound organelles are present in Protista. Same with fungi, because eukaryotic, so all membrane bound organelles will be present. The same with Plantae and Animalia. Coming to the next characteristic, the cell wall. The presence of cell wall is one of the important characteristic by which the living organisms have been classified. So in kingdom Monera, the organisms are, the cell wall in the organisms is, most of the organisms cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. In Monera, in kingdom Monera, cell wall are present, that is the bacteria, all in Monera we have different types of bacteria, all bacteria are included under the kingdom Monera. So here this one, the kingdom Monera, the organisms or the bacteria, almost all bacteria shows the cell wall which is made up of peptidoglycan. There are some other bacteria in which cell wall is made up of different materials, but generally most of the bacteria, the cell wall is made up, cell wall is present and the cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. In kingdom Protista, few protists have cell wall and few does not have cell wall. Few protists will be having cell wall and few will not have cell wall. Then next, fungi. All fungal organisms have cell wall, and that cell wall is made up of a substance called as chitin. And in kingdom Plantae, all members of kingdom Plantae will have cell wall. All members will have cell wall, and the cell wall is made up of cellulose. The cell wall is made up of cellulose. Here in kingdom Monera, the cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. In kingdom fungi, the cell wall is made up of chitin, and in kingdom the cell wall is made up of cellulose. The cell wall is made up of cellulose, whereas in kingdom Animalia, cell wall is absent. No organism from kingdom Animalia will have cell wall. There is no presence of cell wall. So cell wall is absent in kingdom Animalia. Next is organization. Based on the organization, here in Monera we have unicellular organisms, that is only one cell. If only one cell is there, there is no organization, it is only cell is there, cellular organization. Then in Protista also we have unicellular organism. Organization will be seen in the organisms where the organisms possess more than one cell. Multicellular organisms show organization. Unicellular organisms does not show any organization, only one cell will be present. So here an organization, cellular organization, that is only one cell. Here it is also at cell level. Now in fungi, few cells are there and form, that is mass of cells will be seen, and that forms tissues, and those tissues are very loosely arranged, not tightly packed. Some, that is, it is multicellular, and the organization, that is the cells, will be combining and forming the tissues, and that too the tissues are arranged very loosely. Now in kingdom Plantae, the organisms are multicellular, that means they have many number of cells and they have tissues as well as they have organs. They have tissues as well as different organs or parts we say, that is stem, root, leaves, flowers, fruits. These are the different parts or organs, and we have tissues like we have this one, ground tissue, epithelial tissue, vascular tissues. Tissue level is there in organization, tissue level organization is there, as well as the tissues are forming the, that is organs are also present. Organs are also present. Whereas in kingdom Animalia, the cells combine and form tissues. These tissues will combine and form organs. These organs will combine and form organ systems, and all the organ system are very well developed. Very well developed organ system will be present. So, as we go from Monera to Protista, there is complexity in the organizations. In Monera and Protista only at cell level. Then here in fungi it is at tissue level. Here in Plantae it is at organ level, tissue and organ level. Here in kingdom Animalia, tissues are there, organs are there, properly developed organ systems are there. So, well developed, well maintained systems will be present in the kingdom Animalia. Now coming to the last characteristic, that is mode of nutrition. Monera, the organisms in Monera, that is the bacteria, some bacteria are autotrophic, some are heterotrophic and some are saprophytic, that is some can prepare their own food, that is autotrophic, some cannot prepare their own food, depends on the others, that is heterotrophic, and some feed on dead and decayed matter, that is saprophytic nutrition. Same with this Protista. In Protist also some organisms shows autotrophic nutrition, some organisms shows heterotrophic nutrition, some organisms shows saprophytic nutrition and some organisms shows parasitic nutrition, that is some organisms lives inside the bodies of the other organisms and feed on the food material of the other organism. The fungi, the mode of nutrition is saprophytic. All the fungal organisms feed on dead and decayed matter. In the kingdom Plantae, all the organisms which belongs to kingdom Plantae are autotrophic. All organisms are autotrophic. No heterotrophic, no saprophytic. All organisms are autotrophic, that is they can prepare their own food. And last but not the least, here kingdom Animalia. The kingdom Animalia, all the organisms which are included under the kingdom Animalia, they show heterotrophic nutrition. They show heterotrophic nutrition, that is they are dependent on the other organisms for their food. They cannot prepare their own food. So, based on all these individual that is single characteristics, here these all characteristics have been clubbed into three different categories, that is complexity of the cell, complexity of organization and mode of nutrition. And after clubbing all those single characteristics into three groups, here the Whittaker classified the living organisms into 5 kingdoms, that is Monera, Protista, Plantae, Animalia and kingdom Fungi. Now in next class we will study in detail about all the kingdoms, that is Monera, then Protista, Plantae, Animalia and Fungi. Next class we will start with kingdom Monera.